Hello there, everyone. My name is Clarissa. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for joining me. If you were here for the previous video, thank you so much for coming back. I would really love it if you could subscribe to my channel, like the video if you find it helpful and relevant to you, so that this message can be spread to as many people as possible and hopefully find the people that need to hear it. So as you can tell from the excuse me, as you can tell from the title of the video today, I really wanted to channel messages from the universe for you in particular. I have 3 different piles that you'll be able to choose from. This will be pile 1, 2, and 3. I'm actually going to flip over the cards here in a moment, and you will be able to see what each card is, and then that can hopefully help influence the decision that you make in terms of the pile that you want to watch. Again, I would like to reiterate that there is no wrong way to pick a pile. Whatever is calling to you, whatever you're the most drawn to, whatever your intuition is telling you to go toward, that will lead you in the right direction. If you get into that reading and it's really not resonating for you, it may be because there's only a piece of it that you're supposed to hear, and you may just hear like a snippet of it, and that may be what really resonates with you and what you really needed to hear from that reading. If you're getting through the whole reading or like halfway through the reading and you're like, none of this relates to me, you can always go back to the beginning of the video or to the timestamps that are in the description box and pick a different pile. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people like to watch the whole video and then pick what resonated with them. So it's really up to you. There's no right or wrong. Just know that you'll never pick incorrectly. There's always something that you need to hear from whatever pile it is that you pick, okay? So anyway, now that that's out of the way, let me go ahead and flip over these cards here so that you can get a better feeling as to what you're picking for, and maybe one of them will really speak to you and you will feel the need to pick that pile. Sorry, I'm a little lost for words today. Anyway, so this is for pile number 1. We have Earth Element, Stability. That ends up being 8, 9, 10, 11. So that is number 11. Maybe number 11 is a lucky number for you, or it is one of your angel numbers, whatever. Maybe that will kind of help determine for you that you should pick this card. But this is for pile number 1. This is pile number 2's card. We have Air Element. This ends up being number 12, which reduces to number 3. So either 12 or 3, maybe those are significant numbers for you. But this is Air Element, Communicating. And then for pile number 3, we have Pisces, I believe. And again, this reduces down to number 6. So maybe number 6 is a significant number for you. Maybe you're a Pisces. But maybe that will help you kind of pick this pile if this is the one that you were drawn to. So anyway, again, this is pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. If you're still not sure which pile you would like to use for the reading, please pause the video and take a second to decide. You can also look at the timestamps below. Perhaps one of your lucky numbers will be in the timestamps, or the symbol that I put next to the timestamps will resonate with you, whatever. There are a lot of different ways you can pick. So I'll give you a moment and I will see you in your reading. Thank you so much for joining me. All right, pile number 1. Again, if you picked this pile, you picked Earth Element, Stability. So with that being said, I kind of wanted to talk about this card to begin with. So you may have been drawn to this card, like I said initially, if you have like an angel number of 11, if you're really drawn to the number 11, perhaps you were drawn to the card because of the 38 here, but you could also be an earth sign, or you could really just be needing some like grounding work in your life. Maybe you've been lacking stability in certain situations recently, whether they be romantic, whether they be personal, whatever the case may be. perhaps you have been lacking that stability that you're needing in your life. And because of that, excuse me, because of that, maybe that is perhaps why you picked this card. One thing that I do want to kind of point out here, so Earth element represents the astrological signs Virgo, Capricorn, and God, why am I blanking? Taurus. Sorry, Tauruses. That is the astrological signs that Earth is related or is represented by, excuse me, in astrology. So, like I said, you could be one of those signs. You could also just be like needing more of that earth energy in your life. I feel like earth signs are here to remind us to stay grounded, as well as like what is possible in the physical realm for you, if you remain dedicated and focused to the task at hand. So just some things to keep in mind in regard to this card. Moving on though, we're actually going to go ahead and get into your tarot cards that I shuffled for you. So I'm going to go ahead and lay those out for you now. So it looks like we have the Six of Swords, we have the Three of Swords, we have the Page of Wands, we have the Nine of Wands, we have the Devil, and we have the Three of Wands. Let me just make sure that we're, still in angle here properly. Okay, everything you can still see, it looks like. That is lovely. I had some trouble in my last video with making sure that everything was properly in the camera view. So anyway, perfect. So just looking at these cards, I'm just feeling a lot of mental anguish. It's very interesting because, so like the Devil is actually represented by, or represents Capricorn in the tarot, which is related to like our earth element card here, but the rest of this is like fire and air. So perhaps, you could have just a little bit of earth in your chart, and maybe that is why you picked this card, because you need some more stability if you have more air and fire. So first of all, I actually do want to talk about this Devil card. I feel like for some of you, you may, how do I want to word this? You could potentially have someone in your life that it has been very controlling and manipulative. It could also be yourself that has gotten wrapped up in like these negative self-limiting beliefs or these negative thought patterns even. For most of you, I'm feeling like this is another person, and I only say that because we also have the Three of Swords here. And I feel like perhaps you were really hanging on to a relationship. It could be platonic, it could be a romantic relationship with somebody that just was not serving you. That person may have had their own issues that they still needed to work through, such as like substance abuse or addiction, or they may have just been, somebody that wasn't good for you and did not have good intentions for you. Somebody that tried to control you and had narcissistic tendencies and really tried to like bring you down with them. But I just really get this sense of like literally being shackled, like somebody having such a grip on you, such a profound grip on you, that it really feels like you lost yourself a little bit in that relationship. And again, this doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. This could be a relationship that you have with a parent, with a friend, with anybody. But I'm just really getting that sense from most of you. Like I said, for some of you, it could be you that, was restricting yourself, that had yourself shackled in a way, that told yourself you weren't capable of doing certain things, so you never did. Yeah, I'm just getting a lot of like profound relationship related energy. especially with the Three of Swords here. Like I had pointed that out earlier, I feel like for some of you, this relationship may have already come to an end or is coming to a head and will come to an end. And it's just, I hate to say it, but it's just not going to be pretty. I hate to give like negative advice, so I'm really sorry. Like I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I have to be honest with you. That is, you know, just who I am. I don't really sugarcoat things very well, so I'm sorry if that comes off a little harsh, but sometimes I think that we need to hear things the way that they're meant to be heard, right? And not have them be sugarcoated. So I really feel like whatever relationship that was there, like I said, there was a lot of conflict, a lot of turmoil, like just a lot of built up emotion, I feel like, in it. And unfortunately, it came to a head, or it's going to come to a head, and you're going to be heartbroken. There's going to be a lot of pain that happens when this relationship ends. And for some reason, I just like got this message, and it may be for somebody in particular. There may be one of you out there listening to this reading that you in particular were in a narcissistic abusive relationship with someone and they chose to end the relationship, or you found out they were cheating on you, or, you know, something like that. And unfortunately, like, this is gonna hurt. It's just gonna hurt. And I really feel like it's important for you to feel those emotions and really allow yourself to mourn the loss of this relationship, because, you know, I understand that even though, you know, not all relationships are good for us, sometimes it's hard to let certain people go or certain relationships go when they've been such a focal point of our lives. So I'm really getting the message from Spirit that you need to allow yourself to feel these emotions, especially if you do have like a lot of earth or even like air in your chart, because, you know, we got so much sword energy here. If you have those signs in your chart and it's like a very heavy chart of like earth and air really love to analyze the situation and then feel their emotions later. But I really feel like you need to allow yourself to feel and mourn the loss of this person, and that is going to be your best way to kind of come through it. Sorry, I'm just like short of breath today. I don't know. We were like cooking, my husband was cooking during dinner earlier, and it just got kind of smoky in here, and I just breathed in too much of it, I think. So I'm sorry if I'm like losing my breath here. I need some water occasionally. But anyway, I feel like your best thing to do is to move away from this person in this situation, kind of like I would initially said. I feel like that is going to be the best thing for you to really, like, and you know, sometimes people can change and sometimes we can allow people to come back into our lives, but I really think it's important that they show us that they've changed first before we allow them back into our lives. And I think it's time for you to move away from that situation and cut ties with that person right now. It's just, it won't be healthy for you to stay in that situation. I really feel like with the Nine of Wands energy here, I actually feel like that's really playing into the end of this relationship. I feel like this was something that you were holding on to for a really long time, and you were just kind of like fighting for, and you were giving it your all into that relationship with that person and trying to make things work. And unfortunately, they're just not meant to right now. And that's the message that I'm really getting for you for that. So I'm sorry if that's not what you wanted to hear, because I just like feel like there's some of you out there that are like rolling your eyes or upset because I told you that, but that is the message that I'm getting for you. And again, I don't want to sugarcoat things for you. I feel like it's important that you hear the truth. Give me 1 second. I'm going to take a drink of water here. Sorry about that. Anyway, I feel like by letting this go, by letting this negative relationship, or even like I said, for some of you, it could be like your own negative thought patterns or self-limiting beliefs. By letting those things go and by like not holding on to them anymore and by moving forward in a different direction, I feel like you're going to like get that spark for life back, if that makes sense. Like, you're going to really be able to see the situation from like a higher perspective, and you will be able to have that like passion and desire and just like the beautiful, you know, goal-oriented, like pushing ahead no matter what spirit of the Page of Wands here. And like what I love about the Page of Wands is the Page of Wands is really able to look at, you know, different situations and scenarios and really decide based off of, you know, the different options available or different options available in regard to a situation, excuse me. They're really able to like look at, you know, the different options available and go forward with like what really lights them up the most and what would make the most sense to them, they're the most passionate about. And, you know, perhaps for some of you, this relationship with this person, or, you know, again, even like these negative thoughts that you have in regard to yourself, were holding you back from like really great opportunities for you, things that actually excite you and make you happy and light you up and that really fuel your soul's purpose. And I feel like by stepping away from this relationship, from these negative thought patterns, by letting these things go, you're really going to be able to see things from the higher perspective and understand at some point why this had to happen, why this relationship had to come to an end, why this negative way of thinking had to come to an end, so that you could essentially move on to bigger and better things. You're able to survey your life and see it from like a different standpoint and see the situation from a different standpoint. I really feel like whoever this pile is for, like, you have a, like, just with the sword energy here, because this is like, to me, these are like really, really strong sword energy cards, because the Three of Swords is such a profound card that you really have the ability to self-reflect in the best way. You're able to see a situation for what it was, maybe even not at the time, and that's okay, because sometimes we get wrapped up in what the situation currently is, or the past, or whatever, or what we hope something could be for us. And I feel like you have this profound ability to be able to self-reflect and analyze and say, you know what, that actually happened for like my highest good, for my benefit, and it allowed me to see like what my worth is, and it allowed me to see that I had lost a piece of myself. I really feel like with the Three of Wands here and the Page of Wands that you're gonna like regain that sense of who you are. And sometimes we have to get out of these toxic relationships or mindsets for us to really focus in again on who we are, what we're here for, and just feel like we have purpose and passion again in our lives. So I really feel like, you know, overall, even though it may not seem like it, since I feel like you're currently going through it or you're about to, even though it may not seem like it, I feel like it's for the best, and the universe really wants you to know that overall it's for your highest good. It's for your best. It's for the best for you. It's going to open doors for you and allow you to see, again, like I said, what your purpose is here, and really allow you to see like what your worth is, because you're worth more than somebody that belittles you, diminishes you, that hurts you in any way. And I really hope that you know and understand that. That's what I'm really seeing for you in the tarot right now. I feel like that is the message that the universe wants me to pass along to you. I do have some additional cards that we'll look at as well that I drew for you. And we'll see what those have to say and see if there are any additional messages that Spirit wants me to pass on to you. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and look at these lovely, I think it's the Green Witch Oracle cards. I really love these cards. I think they're really beautiful. Let me go ahead and we'll look at these first, and then I have just like some mindful messages for you as well, that I drew for additional guidance from the universe. So the first card that we have here is Focus. I really think that that's cool that you got this card, actually, because I feel like that may be one of the reasons too why you were drawn to the Earth element stability card. I really think you need to focus on everything that's to come for you by getting yourself out of this situation, this relationship, whatever it is, by, you know, stopping these negative thought patterns or self-limiting beliefs. I feel like you really need to focus on the things that will come for you, and like not focus so much on the loss of this person, this relationship, you know, stopping these negative thought patterns, whatever it is for you. I feel like the more that we focus on the good and like really acknowledging that this was for like our highest good, it will make it easier for us to come to terms with what is. And I feel like I'm just really getting from this card too that in terms of the focus, like allow yourself also to focus on the negative emotions that you may be feeling, to really allow yourself to like have that vulnerability and tell yourself that your feelings are valid, because they 100% are. Your feelings are always valid. And just focus on like healing yourself from this situation and moving forward. I really feel like those are the messages that Spirit has for you, that the universe has for you with this card. Let's see here. We also have love. Again, I think that that's very fitting, actually. I really feel like out of this, you need to learn to love yourself. And I'm just feeling called to say this, so I'm going to. Having a romantic relationship is a beautiful thing. Being loved by somebody else is a very beautiful thing, a very valuable thing. But I think it's really important that we focus on loving ourselves as well, because at the end of the day, we really only truly have ourselves. We have wonderful, beautiful people around us. And I'm not saying that, you know, you should just shrug everybody off and, you know, not care about anybody else in your life. But what I'm saying is it's really important for you to love yourself first. Because if you can't properly love yourself, no one will be able to. And you will not be able to see your worth and understand that you deserve better and deserve more than somebody that puts you down and belittles you and makes you feel insignificant. I really think it's important for you to learn through this process to love yourself. And again, I feel like that's why the Three of Wands is here, for you to understand that once this is all said and done, once you've let this go, once you've worked through the pain and the emotions and allowed yourself to feel it, you're gonna understand why this happened to you. And I really think that for most of you, this is to show you that you need to love yourself unconditionally and you need to expect more in your relationships with other people and expect more from other people. Other people shouldn't be treating you like shit. Other people should be loving and respecting you, and that starts with you. It really does. The way that you treat yourself is what you will allow other people to treat you like. So please just keep that in mind. But I really feel like this will be the best for you moving forward, learning how to love yourself, and then more love will come to you in the future. You'll be able to have successful relationships in the future because you took the time to understand who you are and what you need to feel loved and what's important to you in a relationship. So I'm really feeling that. And again, this doesn't have to be romantic. This can also be like what you expect from people out of your friendships as well. And, you know, if this, for some of you, like I said, if this is like you and your self-limiting beliefs or your negative thought patterns, you really need to work on loving yourself, okay? Like, we have those thoughts because we don't really love and believe in ourselves. And I really think it's important that you love and believe in yourself, okay? And then finally, we got gratitude. I really like this card. I think it's a beautiful card. And, I didn't even point them out in here. You can kind of see in some of these cards that we have like astrological symbols. So this one is Libra, this one is Sagittarius, the focus, and then this is Gemini. But for the gratitude, again, I think that it's hard sometimes to be grateful for the situation or the hand that we're dealt when it's a shitty hand and we feel like we've been spited in some way, or that the universe loves us less because it handed us a terrible, sorry, I can't even think today. It handed us like a terrible hand, essentially. Like, we got dealt a terrible hand and we're in a shitty situation, and it's hard to be grateful for those things sometimes. It's hard to be grateful when you are like just in a really low place emotionally. But I think that for you, again, once you're able to work through all of this, I really think that you'll come to a place of gratitude. But I also think that it's like really important that we practice gratitude on the daily. I think it's really, really important that we are grateful for all of the little things in our lives. And even when you're going through a really shitty time period, there's always something in the day that you can find to be grateful for. And I think that that's so important, because then what it does is it brings more things into our life for us to be grateful for. So I'm not trying to tell you to be to have toxic positivity, because I really think that you do need to feel these emotions. But it may be helpful for you if every morning or every night before you go to bed, you can write down one thing that you're grateful for that happened to you that day. And I really feel like gratitude can kind of help us work through these dark times in our lives, because it allows us to see, things are really shitty right now, and that's okay. Things are going to be shitty sometimes, but that even when they are, there's still beautiful things happening for us. There are still things that the universe does daily to show us that it loves and cares for us. So, just keep that in mind. And I'm not telling you that you have to go out and practice gratitude right away, because if you are going through this right now, that may be something kind of hard to hear. But just, keep that in mind, that gratitude may help you through this situation, and then it will help you understand or, be grateful for the lessons that you gained in that relationship that you had. Okay. So I also have some more messages that I that I selected for you as well. Well, not that I selected for you. Sorry, let me backtrack. That I shuffled for you earlier. I promise I don't just go through the deck and I'm like, oh yeah, that would go perfect with this reading. Absolutely not. I really do shuffle the cards and lay out what comes. So I have 4 cards for you here, so we'll go over those as well for any additional messages that the universe may have for you. So we have releasing anger. Anger is a natural emotion, but I recognize that holding on to it can be toxic for me. I look at the person who has caused me pain and see them as the human being they are. I release the anger I feel and free myself, freeing myself and expanding to love. Holy shit, sorry. That could not be more perfect of a card. I really think that really speaks for itself, but again, touching on being able to feel your emotions. Again, it's okay if you're angry. It's okay to feel your emotions. It's okay to be upset. It's okay. Your feelings are valid. Your emotions are valid, and it's okay to have them. But things like anger and sadness, when we allow ourselves to hold on to those for things that other people have done to us, all we're doing is hurting ourselves. I'm a Scorpio, okay? I think I've mentioned this before, and I understand better than most what it's like to hold on to negative emotions for people. And let me tell you that all that does is hurt you, because that other person moves on and they forget about it and they don't care sometimes. And that hurts more than just letting it go. Sometimes you just have to let it go. You feel it, you work through it, you release it, and you're done with it. and you don't have to deal with the emotions anymore of it, the negativity anymore of it. And trust me, again, like I said, I am a Scorpio. When people wrong me, it's hard for me to trust you again and let you back into my life. But I forgive you. I forgive you. I just don't always forget what you did. So maybe that is a message for you in and of itself, that it is completely 100% okay to forgive in this situation and move forward and release the anger and the negative emotions that you feel and move to love for yourself, love for other people, love and appreciation, gratitude from the universe for dealing you this hand and giving you this situation so you can learn and grow from it. Yeah, I really think that that is so beautiful. Like, wow. I'm kind of like lost for words here. But yeah, just allow yourself to feel things. Like I said earlier, really allow yourself to feel the emotions and release them. And again, it's like so interesting because like I said earlier, I got the vibe of shackles. We have shackles here, we have shackles here. And for some of you, like, this could also be like those of you that are trying to break free of like these negative thought patterns or these negative like self-limiting beliefs that you have. This is like your sign to release these things. And you know, sometimes we like have a lot of pent up like anger or, you know, emotions that are actually like, how do I word this, that are actually like emotions that we have because other people gave them to us, right? So like we may have not felt that way initially, but like someone else made us feel like we were incapable of doing certain things because they were projecting their own issues onto us. So, you know, just keep that in mind. Break free of the shackles, like release yourself from the anger, from the resentment, from all of those things, okay? Next, we have creator of happiness. I reclaim my power to create my own joy and happiness. It is not dependent on any outside source or individual, therefore it cannot be taken away. It can always be found within me. I mean, damn, the universe is really talking to you today. Again, just like what I was saying, like, I don't believe in toxic positivity. I don't believe that we need to be happy all of the time because sometimes we're dealt a shitty hand and sometimes we need to allow ourselves to feel that. But at the end of the day, like I said before, I really think you're going to be able to come through and like be grateful for the situation that happened and understand that you cannot rely on other people for your own happiness, for love, for all of those things. It's great when we are in a relationship with somebody that truly understands us and loves us and wants to be there for us emotionally, but at the end of the day, like, we are the creator of our own reality. We are the creator of our own happiness. And that's why I was talking to you earlier about gratitude and how important it is and how gratitude can allow us to be happier because we're grateful for the things that we have, and we really are like happy and grateful for the universe for providing us with those things. So, you know, just remember that at the end of the day, we are in charge of our own emotions and we are in charge of our own reactions to situations as well. So I really feel like that's the message that the universe has for you. Excuse me. I also have for you food. What I eat fuels me. I eat the best foods accessible to me. I infuse my food with love and gratitude before eating, visualizing the nutrients I am consuming and the love that went into growing and preparing this food. I'm just really getting the message from this that it's like really important for you to do some self-care, which if you don't know how to take care of yourself well, hit up your Taurus friends, your earth sign friends. Some of them are better at it than others, but like your Taurus friends in particular are really good about self-care and indulging in good meals and taking care of themselves and feeding themselves well, providing themselves with proper nutrition, just like really loving themselves and their body, like, and the physical things that they have. So, you know, you may need to talk to some of your Taurus friends about self-care, but that's like what this card essentially means to me, is like feeding ourselves good things that are good for us nutritionally. Not saying you can't eat pizza or whatever if you're like upset. I understand when we get upset, sometimes we like let our emotions dictate our food choices. I'm not here to judge you. I'm just saying that it's important that you nourish yourself with foods that make you feel good. And if that is pizza and ice cream and chocolate, do you, girl. I'm not judging you. But I also feel like this is like food for the soul as well. Like, you know, proper, like treating ourselves properly, by getting out of toxic situations with people that don't honor us and don't treat us as we deserve to be treated, and speaking to ourselves kindly. So keep that in mind as well. And then finally for you, I have inspiration board. If I am ever feeling down or bored, I spend time creating a vision board to place in my home. I fill it with quotes, pictures, and desires that bring me inspiration and joy. I really like that. If you've never made a vision board before, highly, highly recommend. I love my vision board. And, you know, again, this could just be like an inspiration board for you too, with like little quotes or things to like get you through the day. This like came into my mind for some reason, so I'm going to share it with you. If you've never watched Becoming Mary Jane on BET, it's on Netflix now too. I don't think that there's been a new season for a while, but I love Gabrielle Union. I think she's like so beautiful, and I just like adore her. And my God, does that woman even age? She still looks like she's 20. But anyway, that's one thing that she does that I think is really cool, actually. I think that she has like psychologically a lot of like issues with her self-esteem and like her perception of herself, and she will write like inspirational like quotes or affirmations on post-it notes and like stick them all over her like bathroom mirror. They're in her bedroom and everything too. It's like really prominent in the first season, and I thought about doing it myself because I thought it was a really cool idea. So maybe that, you know, message is meant for somebody out there, and maybe that'll really resonate with you and help you. If not, like vision boards are really great. I loved making my vision board. It was like really fun. And you're able to like pick stuff out for yourself. Like I used Pinterest and just like printed out a bunch of images, but pick stuff for you that like really resonate with you, things that you really want to work on and aspire to like do better in. And again, like it allows you to be grateful for what you already have too, because you can look and be like, wow, like these are my aspirations, but like these are the things that I already have. And, you know, be grateful for the fact that you can make a vision board or have an inspiration board. Be grateful for the fact that you can have dreams and goals and, you know, things to pursue. But I think that's really cool. And you know, visualization is always so important too with us getting like our like I said, I'm like drawing blanks for words today, like, and Mercury's not even in Gatorade, guys. Like, what is going on? But anyway, at least I don't think it is. Anyway, I like totally lost my train of thought there. If you couldn't tell, I'm pretty sure I have ADHD, and like that should explain enough for you. But what I was gonna say is oh my goodness, it's really like great to be able to visualize stuff for our manifestations and the things that we want. So just keep that in mind. It could be very helpful for you, could help you, you know, in this journey of healing, and like acceptance of things that have passed and come for you. But overall, I really, really liked this message from the universe. I feel like the universe really has your back, and really just wants you to know that everything is going to be okay. This is happening for a reason, and it's really going to teach you a lot about yourself, the support that you have around you, as well as like what your values are, and how you expect to be treated in relationships moving forward. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me, Pile 2, for your reading. I hope that this was helpful for you. I hope this gave you some insight. And if you found this helpful, please leave me a comment below, like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much again for joining me. Goodbye. All right, hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose this lovely card here, The air element communicating. This is your reading to see what messages the universe has to tell you. So you may have picked this card for multiple different reasons. You know, maybe you're an air sign, maybe you're a excuse me, a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Maybe you have like a lot of air element in your chart. Maybe you don't have much of it. That's why you picked this, because you're kind of drawn to the element of air. Or perhaps 12, which reduces down to 3, is 12, I guess, could be one of your angel numbers, lucky numbers. 3 could potentially be one of those numbers for you. And so that's why you chose this card. Sorry, I'm a little shaky there. But anyway, there's a lot of reasons why you could have chosen it. Before we get into your tarot cards here, I did just kind of want to mention, like I said, the element of air represents the air signs Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. Air is very fast moving, is also represented by the sword suit in tarot. And there's just like a lot that can be said about the air signs. But yeah, they're very well known for their communication, for their ability to deeply think. And I feel like air signs are kind of here to remind us to not take life so seriously, if I can be honest. They are some of the deepest people that I think I've ever met. Like, I have the best conversations with Libras, Geminis, and Aquariuses because they think very much so outside of the box. Especially Aquarius likes to think about, you know, so much else other than themselves. Very great people to argue with, very great people to get into heated discussions with. And I think I vibe with it so much because I'm a Libra moon and a Libra Mercury, so I just kind of understand their style a little bit. But yeah, I just love it. They're so quick on their feet. They're so intellectually fast, and I really love having good conversation with air signs. So if you're an air sign, leave your zodiac sign in the comments below and let me know. And, you know, let me know too that you picked pile number 2, because I just think that's kind of interesting to see that kind of correlation. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into your tarot cards, and then we'll see kind of more how we're playing off of this air element with your tarot cards. So, sorry, let me just check something real quick here. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get into it here. So we have the 4 of Cups for you. We have the 10 of Pentacles. We have the Tower. We have the 6 of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Wands. And we have the Emperor. Give me a second here. Like I said last time, definitely had my cards out of angle here. So let me make sure that you're able to see all of these lovely cards here because they are beautiful cards. I really love the illustrations in this deck. I think that they're really, really beautiful. Okay. Again, let's just move over a little bit. Sorry, guys, being a little meticulous here, but I just want to make sure that you can really see the cards in your reading here. We're going to move up a little bit too. Okay. All right, I'll stop fussing with them now. Just wanted to make sure you could see. So, as I was saying, these are your cards for your reading today. So again, we have the 4 of Cups, the 10 of Pentacles, the Tower, the 6 of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the Emperor. So truthfully, like, my eye is actually drawn first to this card. So we're going to talk about it here. So the 4 of Cups is like a very interesting card. You can probably see, and if you can't, I'll kind of hold it up here. Maybe you'll be able to see a little bit better. Her hoodie says "over it," which I think is like such a great depiction for the 4 of Cups. I just am getting this feeling that you are like so bored with your current situation, whether that be your career, whether that be your relationships with other people, whether that be, you know, your financial situation that you're currently in. I feel like you just feel very like complacent in the worst way. I always talk about how I hate feeling complacent and stuck. And that's just the vibe that I'm getting from this card. I feel like you are so focused on all of the BS that goes on in your life day to day, and you're really having a hard time seeing like what other opportunities kind of lie ahead for you. Now, I don't want to say that like maybe you're so bored of a relationship that you should end it or anything like that. I feel like maybe you just kind of need like a change of scenery even, or potentially you need like to inject some romance and some excitement back into your relationships if they are non-platonic relationships. Perhaps you need to like spend some time with friends if you're feeling kind of like just meh in your current relationships that you're having. But I really, really feel like for a lot of you, this card is signifying that you feel stuck in your current position. Like you can't get yourself out of it. Like I said, whether that be your career or your relationships. And it's like the universe is extending a cup to you, like here are all these opportunities or like other things that you can look at, and you're just like not interested because you've gotten to that point probably of like mental burnout where anything else is kind of overwhelming you, and you just don't even care. Like literally, that is the vibe that I'm getting from this card, is that you're just so over it. You don't care, very closed off energy with our arms being crossed here, just like whatever, fuck it, I don't care kind of energy. But like you're also, it's like you don't care, or you try to tell yourself you don't care, but you do care, and like you're frustrated at the same time because you're stuck in this situation that isn't bringing you any sense of joy or happiness, or it's not serving you in any way, if that makes sense. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like the Tower came up here because I really feel like you need to change this situation. And like I said before, that can be like you reevaluating your relationships, trying to like reconnect with certain people in your life, or even reconnecting with your significant other. Perhaps like the relationship has kind of gone stale, or for a lot of you, I'm really getting the sense of like career, and I think it's because of the lovely pentacles here as well, but I'm really just getting the sense that you are so done with the current job that you are in. And I can relate to this so much, like as a nurse. Literally, that's how I feel at work sometimes. Not necessarily as much in my current job, but in some of my previous jobs, it's more like, well, I'm kind of stuck here. Like, it's also like, it's really like what I'm getting is you're almost also just like so mentally fatigued from everything else kind of going on in your life that you're like, why the hell would I even try to get a new job? It's just going to be as bad as this one. Like, you're not seeing like the opportunities that could open up for you and unfold for you. And I really feel like you're just focusing and honing in on the negative as well. And so like, I feel like for a lot of you just are not wanting to put in the time and effort to find another job either. And maybe for some of you, like you're at this job, you hate this job, or you like really don't like what you do, but at the same time you're like, well, what else am I going to do that's going to like make me as much money? Or you've like climbed the corporate ladder in the position that you're in, and you've really realized now, like, I really hate this job, I hate this position. And you're like, but what am I supposed to do? Because I have bills to pay, I have people to feed, I have things that I have to take care of. Like, what am I supposed to do? What's going to come about to me that's even like, that's better than this position that I currently have? So like, I really feel for you. Like, that's the energy that's really coming out for me with that card. And unfortunately for you, like, I like the Tower card, okay? I think that the Tower card and like certain other cards in the tarot kind of get a bad rap, but I really like the Tower card, and let me tell you why. Because first of all, as I've mentioned before, I am a Scorpio. I don't know what it is, and this sounds like really terrible when I say it out loud, but the idea of things just like coming crumbling down so that I can start anew, like, I love it. It excites me. It makes me really happy. And I also think that when you're in this place of complacency here, like sometimes you're just like, fuck it, I want all of this to be done. I want to end all of this and just start over. And that's what I'm really like feeling like you need, is a fresh start, like a clean slate. I feel like for a lot of you, you know, you don't have the ability right now to realize what else, like what other opportunities are in front of you. And because of that, that's why I feel like this tower moment has to come, because like I said, I'm getting that very much so, like complacency mixed with resentment, mixed with anger, mixed with like all of these negative emotions from this card. And so I feel like for a lot of you, you're like, what do you know? Like, I can't leave that job. I can't leave the position that I'm currently in. I can't leave that relationship. I can't do this or that. And again, it's like such negative focused emotion that I feel like things are going to have to kind of crumble for you. Maybe the other person will end your relationship. Maybe the other person will say to you, I need a break from our friendship. Maybe, you know, you won't get your bonus, or you'll get a demotion, or maybe you'll be let go from your job. I'm not saying that those things are going to happen for sure. And I'm not wishing that on you by any means, but unfortunately, sometimes that's what the tower can signify for us. It really does signify the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one. And for me, I'm like, I'm not saying that like personally I wouldn't be terrified if like I lost my sense of financial like stability. So really, I'm not hoping or wishing that on you in any way. I'm just saying that sometimes it takes something that dramatic to happen, that drastic to happen to us, for us to realize, oh, I do actually have like other avenues or opportunities awaiting me. Other things will open up for you. Like literally, when one door closes, another one opens, right? So I'm just really feeling like, unfortunately, kind of like your way of things being right now does have to kind of come to an end. And it really may not be as dramatic as I'm making it out to be. You know, it could just be that maybe, you know, something happens in your life where you have to relocate, or you have to get a different job. Or, you know, maybe you finally do. Maybe you kind of see the organization that you're working for what it is, or they screw you over in some way and you're like, all right, I'm out. Like, I gotta go. I just like really wanted to emphasize to you that the tower is not always a negative thing. The tower can be a very beautiful thing if you let it be, because it allows for you to literally have your tower destroyed, your like metaphysical tower, your thoughts, your ideas, your like current situations kind of come crumbling down, so that you can start over and build a new foundation. And I get that for some of you, that may be really scary, but I don't know. I think there's a lot of beauty in being able to like change and start over. So just try and like focus on the positive of it. And like, I know it can be hard sometimes to be grateful for situations. You know, this is like really funny. I actually did pile one's reading yesterday, and I'm coming back to your pile today. And if you felt drawn to pile one at all, you may want to go and listen to that reading as well, because there may be some messages in there for you. Because I'm really getting like the message that essentially, like, with this happening, with you having your little tower moment and things changing for you and getting you out of this negative like energy, mindset, headspace, whatever you want to call it, you're going to be able to look back on it and be so grateful that it happened. You may not be initially, because sometimes it's hard to be grateful when things are just like shitty, or when we perceive them to be that way. And I really feel like that you're gonna look back on it and be like, you know what, that was the very best thing that could have happened to me. That was for my highest good. And so I do feel like, you know, at some point in time, you are going to be able to be grateful for what happens, because truthfully, I love the rest of your cards. I really, really do. I feel like by you getting out of this situation that you are currently in, you're just going to have so much more balance in your life. You're going to be able to give and receive to others in ways maybe you haven't been for a while. Like, you know, sometimes when we get so wrapped up in our career or our own situation, we lose sight of the things that are important in our lives and the people that are important in our lives. And, you know, that can go with our romantic relationships, our platonic relationships, our family, whatever it is. sometimes we really lose sight of those things when we are so wrapped up in negativity because of the situation that we're currently in. And I just feel like once this happens, when you're in your like rebuilding stage, recollecting yourself, creating your new foundation for yourself, you're just gonna have like so much more time for like, and I guess what I mean to say is like more balance between like your work life, your home life, your social life, all of those things. You're just gonna have like more to give to people and be able to receive more from people that are around you, people that maybe you feel like you've been neglecting because you've been stuck here. I really feel like even though like something like this can be such a knock to our confidence, like when things kind of just come tumbling down around us, I feel like we can kind of lose sight of who we are, and we can feel like everything else is going to go in a negative direction because that one thing did. I'm really getting the message for a lot of you that like this happening and like you having to kind of rebuild and restructure things is going to help you build your confidence so much. Like, I also feel like for some of you, there may be someone in your life that will be there to like lift you up and like lift your spirits and cheer you on while you're going through all of this. And like once the dust is cleared and you're able to see the situation for what it really was and like rebuild, I feel like you're going to either have someone in your corner or you're going to be this person for yourself. I love the Queen of Wands. I really love that fiery, driven, determined, creative energy that she brings about. And like the Queen of Wands is literally like the hype woman. Like she is the hype woman of the tarot. She is there to lift you up. She is there to help you build your confidence. She is there to support you in your decisions and to, help provide you with like some intuitive, creative guidance as well. So I really love that for you. And, for some of you, this could be the person that you're going to end up becoming. Like you're going from this negative, maybe even like no confidence in yourself. That's why you're not even pursuing your other options, to like this beautiful person here who lifts the other people around her up and has so much like positivity and confidence. Like you can just see the difference in their demeanors, even how confident she is, how welcoming her presence is, how bright it is. And I really love that for you. And I feel like for a lot of you, you're going to grow into that person and have like attracts like, right? So you'll have more people like that in your corner for you, because when we're putting out this kind of emotion into the world, we're going to attract people that put out this kind of negativity into the world as well. And so sometimes, it's great if we move on and for some of you even, sorry, I'm like backtracking a little bit here, but for some of you even that this has to do with like friendships or relationships, if some of those have to come to an end because you're at a point in your life where those things are no longer serving you and they must end, not hopefully, but for a lot of you, I'm seeing that this is the kind of people that you will start to attract into your life. You will have more people that are like in your corner and support you. And, maybe that's the issue with why some of those friendships had to end anyway, is because maybe you have people in your life that don't really support you, that are those people that like wish or and hope for things to go poorly for you. You don't need people like that in your life, okay? You need people like this that like hype you up and support you, provide you with positivity and confidence, and like just want to see you succeed. Like I love that energy about the Queen of Wands because she wants to see the people around her succeed, and I really love that for you. Moving on here, I feel like once you've kind of gotten more of this like confidence and like this positive energy back by like getting out of this negative headspace and situation, I feel like that's when we're going to move on to the Emperor energy, which I love the way that the Emperor is represented in this deck. I love that the Emperor is represented by a woman, first of all, love that. But also I love that we have like the Aries the Aries ram horns there, because if you didn't know, the Emperor actually represents Aries in the tarot. And it's so funny because we have, you know, these strong boss ass fire sign energies here, because the wands, you know, represent our fire signs as well. But what I'm really getting out of this is that, like, once you have your confidence, you're going to feel so secure in yourself that you're not really going to care, you know, what everybody else is doing. You're going to do the things that really like light you up and serve you. And you're going to do what it takes to like keep your energy protected from the negativity that other people can try to bring into your life. I really feel like the Emperor energy ties in so well with our Ten of Pentacles energy here. So the Ten of Pentacles is very much so like generational wealth kind of card, where, you know, you can kind of see it in the card here. We have an older woman here. We have some younger, you know, people here as well that appear to be, that are probably the parents of this child here. And really what we're seeing here is like the ability to build that generational wealth, the ability to, you know, create your income and be able to have that balance between work and between our social life, between our home life, all of that good stuff. And I really feel like because we're going to be able to be balanced here, let me backtrack there, actually, sorry, because, you know, we'll be able to find something, some career or pathway for us that allows us to make a good amount of money that provides us with a sense of like financial security and abundance that will then allow us, you know, to have more of that balance in our lives, that will allow us to create this confidence, this very driven, like Aries energy. I feel like this is who you really are, and this is where you're stuck right now. I feel like this person wants to come out like terribly, like this person really wants to come out of you, but at this point in time, you know, we're mentally stuck here, and this is like where the universe is telling you that you need to be. This is where, like, this is what the universe is saying to you, is like, get past this so that you can become this, so that you can be confident and self-assured, and, you know, let your passions drive you in the best way and only do things that really serve you. You know, I really believe that there's no point in being here on this planet, in this physical reality, and being anything less than happy and doing anything that doesn't serve us. And so I really feel like some of you needed to hear that, because, you know, if you're stuck at a job that you hate, you're stuck in like relationships that you hate, why are you there? Like, what are you doing? Why are you wasting your time? Don't waste your time and energy on things and people that don't serve you. And like, I hate to break it to you, but like, your job will drop you in an instant. You die tomorrow, they'll hire somebody next week. Like, companies, at least here in the US, treat us like we're so disposable that screw that. Like, you don't need that. All it's doing for you is causing you like mental anxiety and anguish, you know, terrible negative emotions, when you could be here and you could be thriving. Like, these cards are thriving to me, okay? They're thriving. Like, that's what we all want to be, right? We want to like be able to thrive. And, you know, I will say, because I kind of mentioned earlier that with this card here, which, let me just lift these up so I don't mess everything up, with the air element of communicating, I feel like for a lot of you too, that may be one of your problems. That may be why you chose this pile to begin with, is because you have a hard time expressing how you feel. You have a hard time, communicating like your needs to other people. And it really isn't helpful when we're in this negative space where we don't feel like anything that we do is going to advance us anywhere. When we feel stuck, it makes it harder for us to like properly communicate with other people, and for us to, you know, tell people like what we need of them, right? And like, I feel like that goes into our careers as well, because again, we let people kind of take advantage of us sometimes in the workplace, and we don't stand up for ourselves. And so I really feel like that's another message that I'm getting for you as well, is that you need to be more vocal. You need to communicate appropriately how you feel, the things that you need. And you need to be able to like understand those things within yourself too, because that's one thing that air signs do really well too. They're actually very good at self-reflection. They beat themselves up more, I feel like, mentally than any of the other zodiac signs do. And you know, it may not come across that way because they do like have this lighthearted demeanor, but my God, though, that head of theirs is constantly thinking and filled with all sorts of thoughts. And again, I will say that because I know, because I'm a freaking Libra moon and my 12th house is in Aquarius. Okay, so my mind is always freaking going. So yeah, just do a better job with communicating your needs to the people around you. I feel like that's very important for you. And again, that will help you feel more confident and more secure in who you are and the path that you choose. Okay, so that's really what I have for your tarot cards. Let's go ahead and get into the additional cards that we drew for you. Well, that spirit drew for you, I guess we could say, because I definitely did not draw these cards. They just came out. So first of all, I'll just flip them this way. The first card that we got for you here is grounding. I really think that is a great card for you, actually. I feel like, you know, we get so like mentally stuck in situations, and like we're constantly in this like sometimes negative headspace. That grounding and like taking the time to reconnect with yourself by meditating, by getting out in nature, can really be beneficial for you at this point in time. And, you know, especially once we get to this point where we're kind of rebuilding ourselves and our situation, I feel like grounding will be very important for you and be very helpful for you in that process. It'll help you kind of stay in tune with what you want and the things that you desire for your life moving forward. So I think that that's actually like a really great card. Like, you can take a look at this too. I love that there are like tarot cards here too. So, you know, maybe for some of you, you may want to get into divination. You may want to start drawing your own tarot cards, your own tarot deck, reaching out more to your spirit guides and your team. But yeah, I think that, you know, meditation, even doing like tarot practices out in nature, divination practices out in nature would be very helpful for you. You probably already saw this a little bit, but the next card I have for you is stimulation. So again, I feel like for what I'm seeing, oh, it's actually so funny though too here, because we have the Aries symbol here, which that's actually like really funny. With stimulation, though, I'm really getting out of this that we really need to get out of like this fog here, this like negative headspace and emotional space that we're currently in. I feel like when we get here, we can become very numb to the world around us. Like clearly, like we have all of these other like opportunities and doors that could open for us, and we're just like numb to it. We're not paying attention to it because we're so fixated on the shit that we have to deal with on a daily basis. We're so fixated on being stuck in a certain situation. So again, I feel like the stimulation actually is kind of going in very well with the grounding. I feel like for you, you honestly may be overstimulated for some of you. Some of you may just kind of be at that point where you're like, I need a break, I need to rest. And I feel like for some of you, that may be the message with this stimulation card. For others of you, I feel like you need to connect back with yourself again by grounding and figure out what it is that like really, that you're passionate about, that you really enjoy doing. Again, there's no point in us being stuck here in a situation that doesn't serve us and make us happy. And I feel like you need to reconnect to like re-stimulate yourself into being like, all right, you know what? This is what I actually enjoy doing. This is what makes me happy. I was so caught up in the daily grind, quote unquote, that I forgot kind of like who I am and like what my soul is here to do and what my purpose is and what I really love, what I'm passionate about. So again, I feel like this actually goes in really well with the grounding card and will kind of help some of you reconnect with who you are and the things that you want out of life. Then finally, we have fertility here. So I just feel like with this card that you leaving this situation is clearly going to be very fruitful for you. It is going to bring you abundance and balance in your life, as well as, the confidence to step into a new role and the confidence that you can do whatever you want and you don't have to. I feel like the reason why people stay in this mindset a lot of the time is because they don't feel like they're capable of doing anything else. They don't feel like they're capable of escaping the reality that they're currently in, or the job that they're currently in, or the relationship that they're currently in. And again, the Emperor is here to remind you that that's just not true, okay? You have the ability to create your reality. You have the ability to stand strong in the things that you want your reality to consist of. And I really just want you guys to hold on to that, okay? And I feel like when you do that you will have the most luck, the most fruitful season kind of your life. For some of you, I am getting the message that this could be related to pregnancy, but for the most part, I'm not feeling that. Like maybe one or two of you that are watching, it could be related to that. Is like so interesting, actually. I'm just noticing this. I've looked at this card quite a few times, but you can see like a little angel, looks like a little angel baby like in here, like growing. That's really interesting. So yeah, again, for some of you, that could actually be like a child. Maybe, once you get out of this situation and you have more balance, you have more financial like stability, then you'll be able to, have literally like create your empire. You'll be able to have the family and the children and all of the things that you want. But if that's not you, leave it. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's perfectly fine. Okay, let's go ahead and get into these last couple of cards here too. I asked Spirit for, some additional messages that the universe may have for you at this time. So let's get into those. So let's see here. Gratitude. I love acknowledging all the little things I am grateful for. No matter what I have going on, I always have things to be thankful for. Whenever I'm feeling upset, I can fill up a page with the things I appreciate. This begins to shift my mood and focus onto that which brings me joy. Love that. So funny, because didn't I say something about gratitude earlier? Didn't I say that it would be really beneficial for you to be able to look back at this time in your life and be grateful for the situations that happened that caused, this to end for you? But even then, like once you get to this place where you're more financially stable, where you have this confidence and this sense of like security and power and control, I think it's really important for your heart to remain open and grateful for the things that you receive, because all it does is allow us to receive more of those things. So, just like another message that I'm really hearing for you, and that gratitude will be important for you along this journey. Gratitude was like a big chunk of what I talked about with the last pile. So again, if you felt drawn to that pile at all, you may want to go and watch that reading as well. The next card that we have for you is balance. I surround myself with people I love and enjoy my time with them, but I also take time to nurture my relationship with myself. I have found a healthy balance between being with friends and having self-care time. Bro, what did we say earlier? That is so funny. Literally talking about earlier how you being in this new situation would actually allow for more balance for you within your social life, your home life, your work life, all of that good stuff. And, you know, I feel like we're really getting this reaffirmed through the universe. The universe wants you to know that balance is possible. And that's, you know, another reason why it's important that we don't stay stuck and complacent in these situations, and we just kind of let them die off and start anew, okay? Because it will allow for more balance into your life. I really love that. And again, like, it says, I surround myself with people I love and enjoy my time with them, but I also take time to nurture my relationship with myself. Again, having that balance between your home life, like your personal life, your social life, but also like spending time with people that you enjoy, people that provide, you know, that balance for you as well, because relationships are very much so like give and take, and relationships are very much so about being, you know, in a good equilibrium, being balanced, so that one party isn't taking more than they're giving to the other. So I really love that for you. I feel like you're gonna be in a time in your life where you are bringing people into you that want to provide you with love and support, and you know, give to you as much as they take from you, and vice versa. So I really like that for you. The next card that we have for you is New Adventures. Today I open myself up to new adventures. I go out and do something I've been holding back from. I move through the fear rather than let it control me. I trust my intuition and follow my desires. What the hell? Like, that is insane. Oh my God. Give me a second here. Today I open myself up to new adventures. I go out and do something I've been holding back from. I move through the fear rather than let it control me. I trust my intuition and follow my desires. Dude, like, I don't even know if I really need to elaborate on that, because I feel like the whole reading has spoken volumes for that. Like, literally, get out of your head, go explore something new, a new opportunity for yourself. Don't let fear hold you back. Don't hold on so tightly in this tower moment, in this everything kind of like crumbling down moment, that you lose sight of the beautiful things that are ahead of you, the beautiful opportunities that are ahead of you. Everything happens for a reason in this life. Nothing is coincidental. You cannot like tell me otherwise, because I don't believe it. I believe that everything that happens to us happens because it is supposed to, and we're meant to have those things happen. So this is supposed to happen for you so that you can start your new adventure and literally live the life that you want and become the person that you want and have the things that you want. This is really beautiful. Oh my God, I love this. Okay, let's see what we have next. It's not personal. People's reactions or opinions of me are really not about me at all. People tend to project their own insecurities or fears onto one another. So when someone speaks unkindly to me, I'll remember they have something going on that has nothing to do with me. Yes, okay? I love that. I've actually gotten this card quite a bit in my own like personal readings that I'll do for myself. And I love that card because, again, other people love to project their own issues onto you. When people criticize your body, it's because they have insecurities with themselves. When people criticize your choices to maybe leave your job, leave that toxic situation that you're in, leave that situation that doesn't light you up or bring you joy, when people judge you for that, it's because they have their own insecurities. It's because they have their own fears, and it's because they didn't have enough balls or don't have enough balls in their life to do what you did. So ignore them, don't listen to them, do what's best for you. Again, let your intuition guide you and follow your desires. Okay, I feel like I've talked forever, so I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading pile number 2. I really hope that this resonated with you and that you got some messages out of it that are very important for you to hear at this time. I'm sending you so much love. I really loved this reading for you. I feel like the universe really loves you and really wants you to do what makes you happy. So just do what makes you happy, okay? If you take away anything from this reading, do what makes you happy and don't worry about the opinions of everybody else. Just do something for you. Screw everybody else and their opinions. Anyway, thank you so much. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment below, and let me know that this reading resonated with you. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Okay, pile number 3. Thank you for joining me. If you picked this Pisces, I believe, card, or, you picked it because of the number 6, maybe you're a Pisces, maybe you have strong Pisces placements, maybe you feel like you need more Pisces energy in your life and that's why you were drawn to it, or maybe you just really like the artwork of the card. I do think it's a very beautiful card. Anyway, if you picked this lovely card here, then you are a part of pile number 3. So let's go ahead and get into your reading here. Before I go ahead and bring out your tarot cards, I do want to talk a little bit more about Pisces. So I'm just going to say that if I had picked a pile, this is the pile that I probably would have picked. I am a Pisces rising. And it's funny because I actually was filming the first couple readings because I broke this up into a couple of days. I filmed the second reading, so pile number 2 I filmed yesterday, and yesterday was actually the conjunction between Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces. So to all of my strong Pisces placements out there, my Pisces risings, I don't know how you felt about yesterday, but I felt like I was kind of going through it a little bit yesterday. So, maybe that's a message for you, that maybe what was said in pile number 2 may resonate with you as well. But, it's funny because Jupiter has actually been in Pisces for a little while now. And if you are a Pisces rising, I feel like this is, kind of your time to... I am at a loss for words today. I'm sorry. It's your time to really kind of culminate in that and to capitalize on it, because Jupiter is that planet of abundance and wealth and just brings in overall good vibes. So yeah, anyway, there may be a lot of reasons why you picked this card, and perhaps once we kind of get into the rest of the cards, we'll have a little bit of a better understanding. But I definitely feel like if I were picking a pile, this is the one that I probably would have picked, just, based off of the card. But yeah, interestingly enough, it's Pisces, I believe. It's kind of funny if you're into astrology at all. A lot of people have been talking about how yesterday with the conjunction in Jupiter and Neptune, there was a very delusional time because Pisces is that dreamy sign that likes to believe in things that other people, may find ridiculous. Literally, people like to talk about how Pisces is very delusional. So I like being a Pisces rising. I think it allows for that element of rose-colored glasses, especially when you have other placements in your chart that just don't necessarily allow for that. Pisces allows you to kind of believe and play and have fun with life, because that's what life is all about, right? Why not dream? Why not have big goals or aspirations for yourself? Because why not? Seriously, why not? And that's how manifestation works the best, I feel. I could go on about this forever. I feel like go on about astrology forever. So I'm going to go ahead and just get into your reading, because that's what you came here for. So here are your tarot cards, actually, that I shuffled for earlier. So we have the Ace of Swords, we have the Chariot, we have the Three of Wands, we have the Nine of Swords, we have the Moon, and we have the Seven of Wands. Okay, let me just kind of make sure everything is within your line of vision here, because I did previously kind of cut some cards out with some of my previous setups here. So let me just make sure everything is aligned for you so you can see everything. I'm just gonna take a peek here at my camera. All right, everything's looking good. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and get into it here. man, I tell you what, it's funny sometimes when you're reading for other people, messages really come through for yourself as well. Because I really feel like this is probably something that I needed to hear myself as well. So, and yours I feel like is actually very sequential. A lot of the times when I'm asking for cards, I just kind of let them fall as they may and interpret from there. But I feel like yours is pretty sequential here. So let's start here with the Ace of Swords. I feel like you may be coming into this, or this may have already happened. I feel like you may have gotten like a big burst of mental energy, creative energy stimulation. Just like, I really feel like maybe you felt at one point in time, or maybe you still do, or maybe you're kind of coming into it, you had this like bright, brilliant idea for yourself. And, you know, it could be related to like your career, or like starting a side hustle, or starting like your own little creative project, or whatever it may be. Maybe you had this like big grandiose idea, especially with like I said just a minute ago, with Pisces kind of being like our delusional sign. You had this idea that I feel like was very grand, and something that you were really, really excited and like driven by. Like, it could also be something that maybe you were really, really passionate about. And I don't mean to like, let me just backtrack a little bit. I don't mean to make delusional sound bad, because I think that sometimes we get too consumed by being really logical, right? Like, I know that happens to me a lot personally, where I let the logic weigh down my excitement for like an idea, because sometimes I feel like I have really good ideas. You may be like this too, where you feel like you have really good ideas, and then you sit there and you mull it over and you're like, that was a really stupid idea, or actually that could never work, or whatever. And I feel like that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting like going on. We'll get into that a little bit, but anyway, I feel like you had this really big idea. Maybe you had this like this light bulb moment, almost like this moment of mental clarity, where you were like, oh my God, like I know exactly what I need to do. And you know, maybe like I said, maybe it's relating to career or relationships or whatever. It could be a lot of different things for you, but I really feel like you had this like aha moment, or you're going to have this big aha moment where you're like, holy shit, I know exactly what I need to do. I know exactly what I need to do to get there. And I feel like it really is driving you. Like, you are really inspired by this idea, and it's something that you're really passionate about, whatever it may be. It's like a passion project for you, and you're very much so driven by like accomplishing this idea that you had. Like, this was your motive here, and you just want to like power through, because you're like, oh my God, this is such a great idea. Let me get started on this. Let me start working and plugging away on it. And then I feel like for a lot of you, then the mental anguish kind of came in here. I feel like you kind of got to this point where you were overseeing everything that it was going to take to like make your dream a reality. And I feel like sometimes, you know, for some people this can provide mental clarity, but for you, I don't feel like it did. I feel like it almost gave you anxiety, like literally, like you became anxious about the things that you needed to do, because you were like, oh, well, actually, it won't be that simple. I actually need to do this as well, and I need to incorporate this, and how am I going to find time to do this? And I feel like what was once like a really big passion project for you, and something that you were like super inspired by, and that just really lit you up, and like that feeling that you get, and I don't know if you've ever had this before, but I have that feeling that you get where like your soul is on fire in like the best way, and you feel so driven and passionate and like inspired by something, by some sort of idea that you have, and all you want to do is see that idea through. And I feel like you still really want to do that, but I feel like you got to this point where you were like, shit, this is really overwhelming. I can't do all of this by myself. And whether that's true or not, I don't know, because obviously like this is a general reading, and for some people, you know, it could be very, very possible for you. Like, I'm definitely getting from this reading like entrepreneurial type vibes, or like inventor type vibes, if that makes sense. Like you had this big grandiose idea, and then you started kind of putting yourself into action and taking like the first couple actionable steps because you were so excited, and you just like dove head first into it, and you were like really determined to make it happen. And then I feel like you got to this point where you were like stuck, and you're like, okay, well, where do I go from here? What do I do? And so you had to take a step back and kind of survey what you had already done. And then you were like, you're either at the point where you're like, I don't know how I'm going to accomplish this, or you're like having a mental block almost, is kind of what I'm getting with the Nine of Swords here. Like this card is very much so about like anxieties, things keeping us up at night, things that are on our mind, just like feeling very mentally overwhelmed. And I definitely get the vibe from that you're very mentally overwhelmed. Let me just like also say here, because I feel called to say this, if you do have strong Pisces placements in your chart, or you are like me and you're a Pisces rising or whatever it is, Pisces gets so wrapped up in the ideas that they have. And I know firsthand, because again, like sometimes being able to see the world from like in like a rose-colored glass, like lens type perspective is really cool to have that ability. But sometimes you also get to this point where you're like, well, like I just kind of want it to fall in place for me. Like I just want to manifest it. Like why do I have to do all of these like boring actionable steps to get there? And I feel like literally this reading is for me. I feel like you just kind of got very mentally overwhelmed. And like word of advice, if this is you and you want to still like go through with accomplishing, you know, this idea that you had, I really, really, really would advise you to plan and be better about planning and blocking out your time and things like that, because, or, you know, for some of you, this may be something that you weren't even like, that you really loved the idea, but maybe you weren't super passionate about it. And so it's like, you're kind of stuck, or you became stuck because you weren't truly inspired by what you were doing, if that makes sense. Or like it wasn't something you were super passionate about. You just thought it was a really good idea and you wanted to pursue it. I definitely get that energy too. And like, I feel like that can kind of lead us to this like this state of being mentally overwhelmed with everything that we need to do. But I just want to say, like, a lot of the time, the feeling of being overwhelmed, not always, because sometimes we are actually overwhelmed and we need to cut back on some things, or, you know, get rid of some things or whatever. But I feel like the act of being like mentally overwhelmed a lot of the time is literally just that. It's mental. It's not actually real. Like if you take some time to sit down and better block out your time, be better organizationally, like have goals set for yourself in place, I feel like if you're able to like kind of redirect your focus, as what I'm really trying to say here too, sorry, I've like definitely feel like I have ADHD because my brain just kind of goes all over the place. But anyway, what I want to say here is that, you know, again, sometimes we get so overwhelmed by the little minute details and things that we need to get done, but really like you need to just remember to take it one day at a time. Don't let yourself get so overwhelmed by, well, like I have to get all of this stuff done tomorrow or I'm a failure. Like that's not true. Okay, like literally empires were not built in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day. Nothing happens overnight. Okay, like I know it looks like that sometimes with people, that they had like overnight success, but it's just not true. Finally one day some like your hard work pays off, or like your luck, you get lucky because you've been working so hard. And like there isn't one person that has it all that like didn't have to bust their ass at some point in time. And I really feel like for you, that's just like a really strong message that's coming through, is that you need to like allow yourself to begin. You need to allow yourself to be a beginner. You need to allow yourself to take small steps every day, take small actionable steps to get where you need to be. Because I feel like that's why you're getting so overwhelmed, because again, you're looking from this vantage point of, oh my God, I have all of this stuff that I have to do. I have to get this done. Like if, let's say like you're trying to like become an influencer or something. And you're like, well, I have to create my social media. I have to post on my social medias, you know, this many times a day to really like get into the algorithm. I have to respond to comments. I have to respond to DMs and messages. And I'm just like so overwhelmed and I have so much to do. And yeah, definitely, like you have a lot of things that you have to do, a lot of things on your plate, but like take it one thing at a time. Don't let yourself get here where you're like up at night worrying, well, did I do that? Oh my God, what's gonna happen because I didn't do that? I forgot to post this. Oh my God, I forgot to have like a sponsored video that has to go up. Like, don't let yourself get so overwhelmed with trying to think that you need to do everything at once, is what I'm saying. Like you can't do everything at once. And when you get to be like to a certain point, you will be able to like outsource a lot of that stuff as well. And that's why, you know, there are teams for people. Like it's so interesting. Like I've been watching YouTube forever. I love YouTube. And there are a lot of YouTubers that I watch and follow. But what I want to say is that like they start off having to do it all by themselves, and then they get to a point where they're like, I can't do it all by myself, and then that's when you like hire out a team. But you actually have to like get to the point where you can hire a team and afford to do that before you actually do it, right? So it does take a lot of, I feel like, just small targeted approach every day that you have to do. So like if you can't focus on everything every day because maybe you have a regular job that you have to attend to, maybe you've got kids, maybe you've got other things in your life that get in your way, and not like get in your way in a bad way, but like take away from your time that you have to like work on something. Do little things that will get you where you need to be every single day. Because what I'm seeing here, to be completely honest with you, is that this anxiety here that you've been experiencing or that you will experience, this like mental anguish, has really caused you to doubt yourself. I feel like here with the moon, I feel like you're getting caught up in these negative delusions of yourself. And you're sitting here like literally, I'm seeing this as like dark night of the soul kind of moment where you're like, well, am I even worthy of those things? Can I really accomplish those things? And I feel like you have a lot of things that you kind of need to work through for yourself as well to like get to a better mental state of mind. But I really feel like the easiest path for you is kind of being hidden by yourself and like your own mental anxieties, if that makes sense. Because, you know, when we look at this card, it's dark, there is no light except for the moon. It's like, you know, just being able to have the night sky to light you up. So illusions and things like that will come into the way for us. And that even has to do with like certain perceptions that we have of ourselves. And so I feel like you're just honestly like in a very dark place because you want to be able to succeed and accomplish the things that you want. Like I really get this feeling that you're very driven and just like a very passionate person about what you want for yourself and what you want to accomplish. But I feel like here we're letting the worries and anxieties get the best of us to the point where we can't even see the easier path in front of us, or like the way forward from where we feel stuck. Or we're like, you know what, I'm never going to be able to do this. I'm never going to be able to accomplish this. I don't even know why I ever felt like I could. It's impossible. And again, I feel like you're letting this dark moment, you're letting your subconscious mind really fuck with you. Like I feel like you are letting your subconscious mind tell you that nothing is possible for you. And that's why I'm saying, like, I feel like you need to get to a little bit of a better state of mind for yourself, because I feel like you're allowing your subconscious mind to play into like your fears and negative emotions and your anxieties. And you're allowing your subconscious mind to tell you, well, that's not possible for you anyway. Why did you ever think it was? And I hate that, because I feel like literally it's like an internal battle for some of you where you're like, shut up, like I've got this. You're like trying to stand your ground, but your subconscious mind is literally like, no, you don't. Like, you're not capable of doing this. That's why you can't do it. That's why you can't figure it out. And I really feel for you because, again, I feel like this pile was literally meant for me. And it's so funny because Pisces is actually represented by the moon card. So it's like very interesting that we got this card as well for your pile, because Pisces also rules over the 12th house, and the 12th house is very much so about things that are hidden. It's very much so about the subconscious mind, and very much so about like what you believe is possible for yourself. Like I said, Pisces, I believe, that's what this card says. And it's very much so like about what do you believe is possible for yourself? Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you have like strong Pisces placements at all, or you're drawn to like Piscean people, you have the ability to like manifest and create the life that you want for yourself. You just have to believe that you can. And so I'm really like sending you a lot of like love and care here, because I know what it's like to be here. It's really hard to be here and to be up at night thinking about everything that you did wrong or that you didn't do, and to really beat yourself up and then get so stuck in your subconscious mind that like you're not able to accomplish the things that you want. It's just not true, because like our subconscious mind is so interesting actually. Like again, I have a nursing background. I don't know everything about psychology, but I do know quite a decent amount, because we do have to study quite a bit of psychology to like get to nursing school, and while we're in nursing school to better understand people and like where they're coming from. And I feel like you are really playing into the mind of a child, because like your subconscious mind, interestingly enough, develops within like the first 8 years of your life. So the things that you tell yourself, the like negative things that you say to yourself, are things that you have been taught to think, or things that you have thought about yourself, or that other people have said to you, that became ingrained into your subconscious since you were like 8 years old. And you're not 8 years old anymore. Like, I really hope that an 8-year-old isn't watching my tarot reading. If you are, cool. Like, you've got really cool parents probably, but like most likely you're not. Most likely you're an adult and you're watching this, and I feel like you need to break away from this, because ultimately like our subconscious mind isn't some demon. It is somebody like trying to protect us, or it's not like some negative entity. Your subconscious mind is ultimately trying to protect you and like do what it tells you these things, or like makes you feel a certain way, or doesn't like to break certain cycles, or your subconscious mind doesn't like the change of routine either. So like by you going out and like pursuing this new idea, your subconscious mind is like, what are we doing? And like becomes fearful, because it's fearful that things will change. It's fearful that you will fail. It's fearful for all of these negative emotions, and it's just trying to protect you. But you have to like break away from that. You have to break away from like the negativity of your subconscious mind in order for you to be able to actually get here, because you're letting yourself get worked up and wrapped up in your anxieties and your own fears. And this card usually to me is just like a stand your ground kind of card, but I really do feel like for you it's like this internal battle of, no, shut up, like I actually can. Like it's adult you saying to your subconscious mind, I can do that, I can accomplish that. Like, and you're trying to fight off all of like each one of these wands is like another negative thought that you have about yourself, and you're trying to fight them all off. And it can be really, really hard to do, especially in the beginning, especially if this is like the first time you're really kind of coming face to face with this. So I really, really feel for you guys. I just want you to know that like it will pass. Like this will not be your state of mind forever, but I feel like for you it's going to be very important that you start challenging that voice in your head that comes up that tells you that you can't do it, that you won't be successful, that you're gonna fail, so don't even try. Like you really need to start challenging that voice instead of being like super defensive with it. Like I feel like you are with this card being very defensive, and it could also be like other people as well that you're being defensive with, where they're like, why are you even pursuing that? That's a stupid idea. People that want to tear you down because they have their own issues. I feel like I've talked about that like in every single reading, but for quite some time now, I literally believe that whenever anybody has something negative to say to us or about us, it's really how they feel about themselves. And I feel like, you're either having to be defensive against your own subconscious mind or against certain people in your life that just want to tear you down because they have their own insecurities and their own issues with themselves. And so I feel like you really do need to stand your ground. And I feel like you need to stop being so defensive about it and literally like question each one of these negative thoughts that comes up. Be like, well, why can't I do it? Well, why wouldn't I try? Like, I feel like sometimes we just have to sit there and question our subconscious mind, or even say, I understand that you're just trying to protect me, but this is something that I need to do for myself to grow. And, our subconscious mind too is that inner child of ours that may still not be completely healed and needs somebody to look out for it. And you have to be that person for yourself to look out for your for your inner child. So you may really benefit from doing some inner child work at this point in time and really trying to work on these thoughts that come up, because again, it's your subconscious mind, so these thoughts come up without your control, but like being able to talk back to them and say, well, you know what, I appreciate that, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I know it's best for me, I know it's best for us. So yeah, anyway, sorry I got into like a sad little spiel there, but like I just really feel for you guys. And again, I feel like this pile is for me too. Like I feel like this reading is also coming through for myself. Yeah, just don't harp so much on the anxieties of it all, and really try and feel, or really try and lay out like what you can actually accomplish in the day and get those things done. Make them little things, because the little things add up. Like they really, really do. The little things mean something and they add up. And the more and more energy that you put towards something, the more likely you are for it to be successful, right? Because, what is that saying? Like money goes where energy flows, or something like that. Sorry. But I think you know what I mean. Like the more energy and time and effort that you put into something, the better the outcome will be for you. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to go ahead. I have some additional cards for you guys as well. Some oracle cards that I shuffled for. So we'll go ahead and get into those next and see what other messages we can potentially get for you guys, okay? So we have happiness. Yeah. I just like really got the message all of a sudden that like, I really do feel like it may be important for some of you to reconnect with your inner child and to do things that make you happy. Like, don't let yourself get caught up in the stuff that you don't enjoy doing. Like, if I would say, like, for those of you that are like starting your own venture or your own business or whatever, like that this may signify for you, focus on the stuff that you enjoy doing with that. The stuff that like you really truly enjoy doing. Like, I would say do that stuff first, because you'll get yourself into the mindset of, oh yeah, I'm really enjoying this, and then do the stuff that like maybe you don't love as much later on. Like, if you don't love doing social media management stuff, like do that maybe the next day, or like do it in like little increments as opposed to trying to do it all at once. But I feel like also, happiness will come back for you once you're able to kind of get out of this state of mind. And I really feel like for a lot of you, you need to reconnect to your why. You need to reconnect to your original idea and like that initial burst of energy and passion and excitement that you felt, and really focus on like the joy and the happiness that it brings you, because I feel like that's where you'll be the most successful, is when you're focusing on the good, the happiness, the part of it that excites you and makes you light up. I feel like that's really important for you guys. We also have wholeness here. Yeah. So I feel like with this card, I really feel like for a lot of you, again, we need to work on our mental health and stability, okay? I feel like everything will come together for you, but it's whether or not you believe it will, okay? Again, Pisces, I believe, okay? Believe in yourself. Believe that you're capable of the things that you want. Believe that you can manifest the life that you want and you can bring in the abundance that you want. I feel like that's what the wholeness is here. Very interesting too. We got 6 and 6 here. Very cool. And we've got air signs, Gemini, Aquarius. Very interesting. But yeah, I really feel like, so 6 may be like an important number for you. It may be a lucky number for you. Was our card 6 here too? Yeah, it was. Wow. So yeah, 6s, all 6s for you. That's very cool, actually. I love it when that kind of stuff happens, that kind of synchronicity. Maybe look up the angel number 666 when we're done here and see if you can get any additional messages from that as well. But yeah, I feel like for you, you will be able to bring in the abundance and the things that you want in this life. But I feel like, again, do you believe you can or not? Because if you don't believe that you're capable of it, you won't, and you won't be. You really have to believe in yourself, and you really have to like be the one that stands up for you and stands your ground and doesn't get so defensive with other people as well, because the thing is that we can't change the minds of other people. We only have power over ourselves and control over ourselves. We don't have control over other people and what they say to us, what they think about us, any of that. But I feel like for you, again, once you're able to like get past these barriers of your subconscious mind and you're able to kind of learn to talk back to those negative thought patterns of your subconscious mind, you won't have to fight anybody off anymore. Because I feel like for most of you, you're your own problem, not necessarily other people. For some of you, it may be kind of a mix of both, or more so other people that, you know, make you feel down about yourself or make you feel like you can't accomplish things and feed into this negative energy. But for, you know, a lot of you, I feel like once you get past that, once you believe in yourself, who cares if other people believe in you? Because all that matters is that you believe in yourself anyway. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks or what anybody else believes in, okay? All that matters is that you believe in yourself, all right? The next one we have here is desire. I really think that for this card for you, wow, sorry, I just saw like 3s and 6, 3, 3, 3, 3. You know, we got the 6s too. Very interesting. Anyway, what I was saying here is I feel like that you need to get back to, like I had kind of said just a minute ago, I feel like you really need to reconnect with the reasoning behind what you're doing. You need to reconnect with that passion, that original idea, that spark, that moment of mental clarity that you had. I also like just got this. I feel like maybe some of you are really kind of going through like a spiritual awakening right now too. And maybe for some of you, you know, you are really inspired to do the work and to kind of ascend spiritually. And I feel like, wow, that's like a whole nother message that I just got from that. That's crazy. I feel like for some of you that you may be going through like a spiritual awakening, or this may be like number 2 or 3 of spiritual awakenings for you. And you know, got this idea of, oh, well, you know, I really need to break my generational trauma, my generational curses, my whatever. And you were really driven to do that. And then you were like, shit, this is a lot of work. Can I even do this? No, I can't do this. And then other people are like, why are you even trying to do that? And you're like, well, because I think it's important. And so for some of you, I just feel like maybe you are going through like a spiritual awakening. And it's funny because like this reminds me of that little thing on like the Ouija board, you know, where that like actual moves, like that piece. I don't even know what it's called, so sorry. Like, but that's what that reminds me of, the piece that people put their hands on that actually like moves around the board. Yeah. So that's like really interesting because I feel like for some of you, maybe you're going through a spiritual awakening, or you're about to, like, you had that moment where everything just kind of clicked for you and you were really driven to kind of pursue that, or driven to start healing and start your spiritual journey. And then you're like, oh crap, this is going to be a lot of work. You're like, I don't know if I'm capable of it. Your subconscious mind, no, you're not capable of it. And then you trying to stand your ground and be like, no, this is really important. This is something that I need to do. So yeah, for those of you that that's happening with too, like, all the love sent to you, because it's hard. Going through a spiritual awakening isn't easy and beautiful all of the time. It's hard sometimes. So if that's the case for you currently, like, I feel for you. I really do. Because again, I feel like this message is also for me. So yeah, just hold on to the fact that you're capable of it. You're capable of healing and making changes. And maybe you are the one in your family that's here to break generational curses and trauma. And it's hard work. It is. It's hard to do, but it's very possible. And like, for some of you that can afford it, because I know that this isn't something that's affordable and accessible to everyone, if you can afford to see a therapist to kind of help you work through your trauma, I feel like it'd be very beneficial for you to kind of help you work through these negative thought patterns that you have, to help you break these generational traumas, curses, whatever. I feel like for some of you that'd be very beneficial. That's not to say you can't do the work yourself, because you very much so can. You can start doing the work yourself. For some people, they just really benefit from having like a therapist there to guide them. So just something to keep in mind. But yeah, I feel like you really need to reconnect with this here, with what sparked you here, or what your desire is like out of this. If you are like going through a spiritual awakening, what's your desire to like get out of it? What do you want your end goal to be? And why do you want that? Why is that important to you? Really ask yourself those questions, okay? And then we have love. Again, a 3. I don't know, dude. 3s and 6s, they must be kind of important to you, because I feel like we got a lot of them. Anyway, I feel like this is about self-love for you. I feel like it's about self-love and compassion for you, okay? I feel like you're really freaking hard on yourself, and you really beat yourself up for stuff that you don't need to. Clearly, like, you don't need to be defending yourself against yourself, okay? You need to like learn how to work cohesively with all of the parts of yourself. This is also, like, us accepting our shadow dark sides, are the pieces of ourselves that we may not necessarily like, and accepting them for what they are, okay? And I feel like you need to do that. You need to learn to love yourself. Imperfections and all, everything that you don't like about yourself, you still need to learn to love and accept. And, some things we can change too. Some things we don't have to, love that we're a person that holds grudges. We don't have to love that we're a person that is like ruthless and mean to people. We don't have to love those things about ourselves, but we do need to acknowledge them. We need to accept them. We need to try and get to the root of like why we are like that. And we need to try and grow and evolve away from those negative things. But sometimes there are things about us that are just kind of there, and like we still do need to love and accept those things. I relate to this card so much because like I am an overthinker. I am like super anxious person sometimes. Sometimes I let my thoughts get the best of me, and I'm like up all night, letting every possibility in the world rack my brain. And sometimes it's like really frustrating. Other times though, like I sit there and I'm like, I mean, my brain's really cool. Like, I have the ability to sit here and self-reflect and, think about all of these different outcomes and possibilities and opportunities, and not everybody has that the ability to do that. And so also it's like showing that gratitude for having it, but like, loving and accepting that that's kind of who you are, and that's okay. Like, it's all right to have flaws and imperfections is what I'm trying to say. So, show yourself some love and some compassion, because I really do feel like you're being really hard on yourself because you can't get everything done in one day, and no one expects you to. You're the only one that expects that out of yourself, okay? So, like, be nice to yourself. And then we have some additional messages for you here too. So I'm going to cry because I think I needed to hear that myself too. So I've got these mindful message cards here for us too. Let's see what we shuffled for you guys. All is okay. All that I feel is okay. I hold myself in love through the unsureness, the worry, doubt, anger, fear, anxiety, rejection. I'm going to cry. Or overwhelm. I am thankful to feel the full range of emotions that I do. These emotions are the very contrast that leads to my higher expansion. Wow. I just love when tarot comes together like that for us, and really, I feel like, I don't really even need to elaborate on that. Like, it's okay to let yourself be here too. Like, I didn't say that earlier, and I really should have, so I apologize. It's okay to wallow, and it's okay to be in the pits of despair sometimes. It's okay to have your dark night of the soul and feel sorry for yourself. It's all right. It's not okay to stay there forever. It's okay to validate your emotions, be in a negative space for a while, but we do have to come out of it eventually. We can't stay here forever. And I feel like the universe just really wants you to know that everything's going to be okay. All right? Everything is going to be okay. You may not feel it. You may feel like the world is ending and that nothing will ever be right again, but all is okay. Everything is going to be all right, okay? That's very beautiful. Okay, what else do we have here? Get focused. To attract what I want, first I get clear on what it is I desire. I envision it, literally desire. I envision it for a minute or more every day, feeling how it would feel to have this in my life, what I would do, how I'd react, and who I'd tell. I picture it all. Through my continual alignment with my desires, they begin to flow into my physical reality in divine timing. What the hell, dude? Wow. Again, I don't really know if that needs a lot of explanation for me. Again, get focused on what it is that you want. Get focused on your desire. And a lot of the time we do have to realign ourselves with where we were here, with that big spark, that moment of mental clarity, where we got this beautiful idea that we ran with because we were so excited for it. And we need to get back in touch with how we felt when we first had that inspirational moment. That is how we literally do manifest the things that we want, because we focus on the way that it makes us feel, the good feelings, not the negative, not the anxiousness, not the doubt or the fear. We don't want to be there. We want to be here in this place of desire and happiness and passion and drive, and just that beautiful feeling of, wow, I get it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is where I'm supposed to be. That's what I see this as for you, is you have this moment of, holy shit, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is why I'm here. This is what my purpose is. This is what I need to be focused on. So again, get focused and intentional about what you want. Make sure that you stop focusing on the negative and the things that you don't want to happen, and focus on what you do want. Focus on the outcomes that you want for yourself. And, I'm also getting this message for some of you. It might be helpful if you make a vision board for yourself, or, you write down the things that you are wanting to accomplish for yourself. And yeah, I feel like you really need to get focused and purposeful about manifesting and accomplishing the things that you want, okay? I feel like that's what this card is saying for you, okay? Wow. The universe is coming through strong for you. All right, we have conscious focus. So another focus card. What I focus on, I attract more of. Starting with today, I will be more conscious of what I choose to spend time speaking or thinking of. I will do more of the things that bring me joy and see as more of these things begin to effortlessly flow into my life. Dude, I literally just said that. That's crazy. I like have the chills. Oh my God. I'm just gonna let you read that. I really don't have much to elaborate on that. I feel like that really speaks for itself. And I literally just touched on that about how we need to get intentional and focus on what we want to attract. We want to attract the good. We want to attract the thing that we want to us. And the more that we stay in this negativity, the more that we focus on anything possible that could go wrong and we stay focused on our anxieties, the less likely we are to manifest what we want. Okay, so like, be conscious about the things that you, and again, like that's what I said earlier with like your subconscious mind, like be conscious about the things that you're saying to yourself or the things that you're doing or the things that you're thinking daily. Like you really do, like that's how you overcome your own subconscious mind, is you have to really focus on, well, why am I saying that to myself? Why do I think that? And get to the root of it. And you really need to focus and like pay attention to the way that you talk to yourself, because it's so ingrained in us and it's so normal for us to think or like talk to ourselves in a negative manner that sometimes we don't even catch it. And sometimes you really need to pay attention to it, because then that's how you're like, what the hell? Like, where did that come from? Why do I even think that? That's how you get to the root of it, and that's how you fix things. So be conscious and focus on your thoughts and focus on what you say to yourself and what you think about yourself, because they're very important. Again, what do you believe you're capable of? Okay. And then water my dreams is the last card that I have for you here. All I desire is on its way to me, but like a seed, my dreams too must be watered. My belief and determination is what makes them grow. Literally, I'm gonna cry. Oh my God. Okay. My belief and determination is what makes them grow. I will be patient throughout this journey. It is all unfolding at the perfect time. Wow. I'm getting choked up because, like I said, I feel like this reading was also kind of meant for me too. Like, I felt like that when I initially turned this over and I saw the Pisces card, but like, seriously, like, this is so beautiful. The universe really loves you and is really trying to look out for you and really wants you to understand that you're powerful. Like, you are super, super powerful, and you have the ability to manifest the things that you want into your life. So stop worrying about all of the bullshit, about all the little stuff. Have fun. Reconnect to the things that make you happy. You know, we don't have to be successful overnight. We can enjoy the ride. We can enjoy getting there. Enjoy yourself. Have fun. Be happy. That's how you're going to attract the things that you want into your life anyway. You know, we never get where we want out of fear, out of doubt, out of, second guessing ourselves. We have to believe in ourselves, and we have to have faith, and we have to come from a place of joy and happiness. So like, if this idea didn't freaking light you up and make you so freaking happy and excited, then don't pursue it. Find that idea or wait for that idea that does, that truly drives you, that makes you feel like your life is in alignment and you're exactly where you need to be. I really don't have much else to say about this. This is so beautiful. Like, stay determined and believe in yourself. Like, freaking believe in yourself. Believe that you are capable of it. Because that is like half of the freaking battle, is believing that you are capable in achieving what you want. Believing that things will fall into place for you when they're meant to, with the perfect timing. Believing those things, that is the hardest part of it all. So just freaking believe in yourself, okay? If you take away anything from this, just know that you need to believe in you. More than anything, you need to believe that you are capable. I think you're capable. The universe clearly thinks you're freaking capable. Believe in yourself, okay? because it doesn't matter what I think, and it doesn't matter what your spirit guides think, what your friends think, what your family thinks, what the universe thinks. If you don't believe it, you have to believe it too, okay? I'm literally like tearing up right now. Thank you so much, pile number 3, for tuning into this reading. I don't have anything else left to add. You had a very beautiful reading, and I really hope that resonated with you and that you got something out of that reading. If you did, please leave me a comment below. Give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more of this kind of content. And again, thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you next time. Bye.